Abeg Mama Nkechi, come help me see something oh. Just about 30 minutes ago, now I put my use pad inside here, now I no see am again.
Oh, blessing. You sure say you put am here?
Yes, auntie, I put am for here, I swear. I dey sure of wetin I dey talk. Which kind problem come be this now?
Oh, God help us.
The scream came from the public toilets behind the shops. Not loud enough to cause panic, but sharp enough to turn heads. A young woman rushed out, shaking, adjusting her wrapper with one hand.
Wetin happen?
Something is missing.
People exchanged confused looks. Then someone noticed him. He was standing a few steps away from the toilets. Dirty clothes, bare feet, a nylon bag pressed tightly under his shirt. The madman. He wasn't confused. He wasn't startled by the attention. He was watching. Someone laughed nervously.
Na mad person jare.
The crowd relaxed, and the madman walked away calmly. Nobody stopped him, because mad people are not questioned. This was not the first time. For weeks, small complaints had been circulating quietly around the area. Used sanitary pads disappearing from waste bins, from public toilets, from behind salons. People blamed rats, they blamed cleaners, they blamed carelessness. Nobody blamed the madman. Every morning, before the street fully woke up, he appeared. Always near waste bins, always near places women used. He never searched randomly. He skipped food, ignored bottles, ignored scraps. He searched patiently until he found what he wanted. When he did, he handled it carefully, like it mattered. Blessing noticed him because she paid attention. From her small salon across the road, she watched him pause, look around and hide something under his clothes. She frowned.
This one no dey behave like other mad people oh.
She muttered. Her customer laughed.
Mad person gets behavior now.
Blessing didn't laugh back. Later that afternoon, Blessing went behind her salon. The small waste basket near the toilet was empty. She stood there staring. She was sure she had dropped something there earlier. Her chest tightened. That evening, as shops closed, she saw him again. He wasn't digging through rubbish. He was standing still, watching her salon. Their eyes met. Blessing forced a small smile and spoke, her voice unsure.
Bros, you want bread?
He looked at her for a long moment, then shook his head.
No.
He walked away. Blessing didn't move. Mama Nkechi, the food seller nearby, noticed her silence.
Leave that man,
she warned quietly.
Some things no be our business.
Blessing nodded her head, but the feeling didn't leave. By night, the madman entered the abandoned building behind the shops. Inside, away from noise and people, he removed his dirty clothes. The nylon bag was opened. Its contents were arranged neatly, carefully and patiently. This was no madness. This was preparation. He paused, listening, then spoke softly to himself.
Almost complete.
By the next day, Blessing was in her salon when she heard the first complaints. A woman stood outside arguing with another.
I swear I drop it there,
she said angrily.
So where did it go?
The other replied. They lowered their voices when they noticed people listening. Blessing paused what she was doing. She already knew what they were talking about. Later that afternoon, she stepped behind her salon again. The small waste basket near the toilet was empty. Again. She stood there, hands on her waist, replaying the day before in her head.
This is not ordinary,
she murmured. As she turned back, she almost bumped into Mama Nkechi. Mama Nkechi looked at the empty basket too. Then she sighed. She said quietly.
These things don't start again.
Blessing looked at her sharply.
Again?
She asked. Mama Nkechi hesitated, then shook her head.
Forget am. Make we no talk too much.
But her face said more than her word. By evening, the madman appeared. Blessing saw him across the road. He wasn't wandering like before. He waited. He stood behind a parked vehicle, watching people move in and out of the public toilets. When the place became quiet, he moved, quickly and purposefully. Blessing stepped closer to the entrance of her salon, pretending to arrange things, her eyes fixed on him. She watched him crouch by the bin. No rush, no noise. He opened a nylon bag, selected something wrapped, tied it and pushed it under his shirt. Then he did something that made her breath hitch. He reached for a bottle of water, poured it on his hands and wiped them clean. Blessing whispered under her breath,
No, this one will be madness.
A customer beside her laughed nervously.
Blessing, why you dey look like that?
She didn't answer. Her eyes were still on the madman. As night approached, Blessing locked up her salon. She turned and froze. The madman was standing across the road, not digging, not moving, but watching her. Her heart pounded, but she forced herself to speak.
You dey look for something?
She asked. He stared at her for a moment too long, then said calmly,
No.
His voice was clear and normal. He turned and walked away. Blessing didn't move until he disappeared. Mama Nkechi rushed over immediately.
What did he say?
She asked. Blessing swallowed.
He spoke like you and me.
She replied. Mama Nkechi's face hardened.
I beg you,
She said firmly, gripping Blessing's arms.
no follow this matter. Some things fit swallow person.
That night, Blessing tossed on her bed. Her phone buzzed, a message from a friend.
Be careful around that madman in your area. Strange stories they spread.
Before she could reply, another message came in. This is an unknown number.
Mind your business.
Her heart dropped. She sat up, staring at the screen, listening to every sound outside her window. Behind the shops, in the darkness of the abandoned building, the madman removed his clothes. The nylon bag was heavier now. He opened it slowly, checking the contents one by one. Satisfied, he marked something in a small notebook. Then he stopped. He heard something, footsteps. He closed the bag, pressed it to his chest, and stood completely still, listening. Back in her room, Blessing held her phone tightly. For the first time, she understood something clearly. This was no longer curiosity. This was danger. By the next day, the street was no longer just noisy, it was unsettled. Blessing felt it in the air. She couldn't unsee what she had seen. The careful hands, the washing, the way he had looked at her and replied like a normal man. She tried to lose herself in work, but even inside the salon, the conversation kept cycling back to the same thing.
Things they disappear for our hostel. Oh.
One girl said while getting her hair done.
My roommate say she no dey use dustbin again. She dey burn everything now.
Her friends laughed, but there was tension hiding under the jokes. Blessing's eyes drifted outside, and then she saw him, the madman. He walked into the streets like he owned time. No rush, no confusion, no talking to himself. He stopped briefly near Mama Nkechi's store. Mama Nkechi froze the moment she saw him. She pushed her paw slightly away from him and said quickly,
Nothing for you here today.
For the first time, he answered her.
I didn't ask for food.
He said calmly. The way he pronounced every word slowly and clearly made her hand tremble. Blessing, watching from a distance, felt her throat go dry. Mad people didn't correct people like that. A few minutes later, he walked past the front of the salon. Blessing stepped out before she could stop herself.
Bros,
She called. He stopped and turned. There was no madness in his eyes, only direct focus.
where you dey sleep?
She asked. He stared at her for a moment, as if deciding how much to give away.
Anywhere.
He replied. The answer was simple, but the way he said it made it sound finer. She swallowed hard.
You get family?
There was the smallest pause.
Not anymore.
He said. Then he turned and walked away. Later that day, she saw him again. This time, he wasn't just moving through the streets, he was waiting. He stood near the public toilets, leaning on the wall, like he had all the time in the world. He watched people go in and come out, as if he was studying timing. Blessing pretended to be busy outside her salon, but her eyes never left him. A woman entered the toilets. He waited. The woman came out, adjusting her clothes and heading off quickly. The moment she was out of sight, he moved very fast. He slipped inside. Blessing felt her body move before her mind decided. She followed. By the time she reached the toilet's entrance, he was already inside a small, foul-smelling space, bending over the waste bin. She saw his hand pick something wrapped, saw him tie it, saw him hide it. The evidence was right in front of her. Her voice came out before she could stop it.
Why you dey do this?
He froze. Very slowly, he straightened and turned to face her. They were too close now. The smell of the place surrounded them, but his eyes were clear.
You shouldn't have followed me.
He said quietly. There was no anger in his tone. That made it worse.
I just want to understand.
Blessing replied, her voice shaking. He tilted his head slightly, studying her like she was the strange one.
Understanding is dangerous.
He said.
Go home.
He walked past her, brushing her shoulder lightly. He didn't run. He simply left. Blessing stood there, gripping the wall, trying to steady her breathing. That night, her room felt smaller than usual. Every sound outside sounded like footsteps coming for her. She kept checking the window, the door, her phone. Nothing happened. until her phone screen lit up. An unknown number. Her heart jumped. She stared at it, waiting for a message. Nothing came in. Instead, the phone started ringing. Her finger hovered over the answer button. She picked the call. She didn't say anything. Whoever was on the other end didn't speak either, just breathing. Slow, controlled breathing. She caught the call with shaking hands. This time, no message followed. The silence felt worse. Somewhere outside in the dark corners of the streets, the madman blended back into the night like he had never been anyone else. But now Blessing knew the truth. He was no longer just someone the streets ignored. He was someone who had seen her, noticed her, and warned her. And he was not guessing anymore. From that night, Blessing stopped sleeping properly. Every sound woke her. Every shadow felt washed. She stopped using the toilets behind the salon. She stopped staying late. She stopped being careless. But the streets didn't stop. The madman still came every morning. Same clothes, same pace, same calm. The difference was subtle but real. Now, he watched people the way people watch doors before entering. 2 days later, something changed. A man Blessing had never seen before started appearing on the streets. Plain clothes, quiet, observant. He didn't buy anything. He didn't talk much. He just stood watching the same places Blessing watched. The waste bins, the public toilets, the abandoned building. That afternoon, the man approached Mama Nkechi's store.
How long that madman don dey here?
He asked casually. Mama Nkechi stiffened.
Why you ask?
The man smiled faintly.
Just asking.
Blessing noticed the way he scanned the street while talking. This wasn't curiosity. Later, as Blessing swept in front of her saloon, the man stopped beside her.
You be Blessing?
He asked. She hesitated. Yes. He showed her an ID quickly.
Inspector Ade.
Her heart dropped. They didn't talk much. He asked short questions. She answered carefully.
That man,
he said, nodding slightly toward the streets.
Do you think he is mad?
Blessing didn't answer immediately. No, she said finally. Inspector Ade studied her face.
What makes you sure?
She swallowed.
Mad people know the plan.
He nodded once. That was all. Across the road, the madman noticed them. Not directly, through reflections, through movements, through instincts. He stood up slowly and walked away. By evening, Inspector Ade returned. This time, he didn't stand on the street. He walked straight toward the abandoned building behind the shops. Blessing watched from a distance, her chest tight. Mama Nkechi shook her head slowly.
This thing don't pass us,
she whispered. Inspector Ade stepped inside the building. The smell hit him first, then the silence. He switched on his phone torch. A few steps in, his foot crushed something under him. He looked down, a torn wrapper, clean, unused. He followed the tray deeper. Behind a makeshift wooden partition, he saw it. Neatly arranged nylons, wrapped items stacked carefully, candles, a small notebook on the floor. His jaw tightened.
This is not madness,
he murmured. Inspector Ade stood still, listening. He had breathing, not his own, somewhere close, too close. Inspector Ade did not move. The breathing was faint, controlled, close enough to be real. He switched off his torch, then listened. The silence stretched. Then the sound stopped. Ade stepped back slowly, careful not to make a sound. He turned and left the building without rushing, without even looking back. Outside, the street noise swallowed everything. That night, nothing happened. No arrest, no noise, no warning. And that was what made it worse. The next morning, the madman returned. Same clothes, same walk. But Blessing noticed something different. He no longer searched carelessly. He avoided the abandoned building. He avoided the toilets behind the shops. He stayed in open spaces where people could see him, like someone adjusting after a mistake. Blessing saw Inspector Ade again later that day. This time, he didn't approach her. He watched from a distance, speaking quietly into his phone. Blessing felt exposed, like the street had turned into a trap with no safe corner. Behind the shops, after sunset, the madman entered the abandoned building again. This time, he didn't relax. He checked the entrance first, then the corners, then the floor. Something had changed. The wooden partition had been touched. The notebook was no longer exactly where he left it. His face tightened. Someone had been there. He didn't panic. He packed faster than usual, moving with urgency but control. As he finished, he heard footsteps again, closer this time. A light flashed briefly against the wall. Then he pressed himself into the shadows. Inspector Ade stepped inside with his torch on. The light swept across the room.
Come out!
He said quietly. No response. He moved closer to the partition. That was when he saw the notebook clearly. Dates, times, locations. His throat went dry.
This one don't serious, oh.
He muttered. Behind him, a sound. He turned. It was too late. The madman brushed past him, fast and silent. Ade grabbed at air.
Hey!
He shouted. Footsteps ran. A door slammed, then silence. Inspector Ade ran outside. Empty. The streets looked normal. Too normal. People passed without noticing anything. The madman was gone. That night, the streets buzzed. Whispers moved faster than facts.
Police enter old building today, oh. Them say something bad dey inside. Now that's madman.
Nobody was sure. Fear spread everywhere. Blessing locked her door early. Her phone buzzed. A message came in.
You talk too much.
Her breath caught. Before she could respond, another message followed.
Next time, I won't warn you.
She dropped the phone. Across the streets, blending into the night, the madman stood among people walking home, dirty, quiet, and invisible. He looked toward Blessing's window. His eyes were calm, focused, and planning. By morning, the street was no longer pretending. People spoke in half sentences, in warnings and in looks. Women no longer joked around the public toilets. Bins were checked twice. Some people stopped using them entirely. Fear had settled in. Someone said the police entered the abandoned building the night before. Someone else said they saw things inside. Nobody could explain properly. But one name kept coming up, the madman. Blessing heard it everywhere. At the salon, by Mama Nkechi's store, in passing conversations.
This thing don't go too far. If na ritual, we no fit keep quiet too. Who know wetin he don do before?
The walls piled up. By afternoon, the madman appeared again. Same clothes, same slow walk. But this time, nobody ignored him. Eyes followed him. Someone pointed.
Naim be that.
Another voice answered, louder than necessary.
Naim!
He kept walking. That calmness irritated people. A sachet of water hit his back. He stopped and turned. Looked at the crowd. Nobody laughed.
Why are they always near toilets?
A man shouted. No answer. Another man stepped forward.
Talk now!
The madman looked at him calmly.
You don't know what you are doing,
He said. His voice was steady. That was the mistake. People reacted instantly.
Madman, they speak grammar now. So not true. Hold on.
Hans reached out. He tried to move back, but the circle closed. Inspector Ade pushed through the crowd.
Everybody calm down.
He shouted. Nobody listened. Fear had already chosen direction. Someone grabbed the madman's shirt. It tore. A nylon fell to the ground. Everything stopped. Nobody touched it. Nobody asked what it was. They already knew. A woman screamed, "My God!" Another voice rose.
Kill him.
Inspector Ade raised his hands.
Stop! This thing not be like this.
But his voice drowned in shouting. The madman looked around. No panic, no begging. His eyes met Blessing's.
You should have listened.
He said quietly. Someone raised a stick. The first blow landed on him. The first blow did not stop him. It only encouraged others. Someone shouted. Someone else pushed forward. Sticks appeared from nowhere. The madman fell to his knees, shielding his head as blows rained down from every direction.
Enough!
Inspector Ade shouted, forcing his way through bodies. He grabbed one man's arms and pushed him back.
Una want keep a scene?
But fear had turned into anger, and anger does not listen. A woman cried from the crowd.
Na our daughters you wan use?
Another voice answered her.
If police no do anything, we go do 'em ourselves.
The word spread like fuel. More hands joined in. Blessing stood frozen. This was no longer exposure. This was punishment.
This is not what I wanted.
She whispered, but her voice was lost in the noise. Mama Nkechi held her arm tightly.
Look away,
She said.
abeg look away.
Blessing couldn't. The madman lifted his head briefly. Blood ran from his lip. He looked around the circle of faces, not pleading, just tired.
I didn't force anyone.
He said hoarsely. The response was immediate. Shut up! Another blow landed. Inspector Ade tried again. He pushed forward, shouting orders, pulling people back. Someone shoved him hard. He stumbled and fell. By the time he stood up again, it was too late. The noise began to fade, not because people calmed down, but because the body stopped moving. One person stepped back, then another. Silence crept in slowly. Someone bent down and placed a hand on the madman's chest. There was no movement. Inspector Ade knelt beside the body, checked for a pulse, then shook his head slowly. He stood up and looked at the crowd. Faces that moments ago were angry now looked uncertain, ashamed and defensive.
Everybody go home.
He said quietly. Nobody moved.
You don't get what you want.
He added. That line cut deeper than shouting. Blessing felt her legs weaken. Mama Nkechi pulled her away gently. Sirens sounded in the distance. Late. Just too late. Morning came like nothing had happened. Yellow tape surrounded the abandoned building. 2 uniformed officers stood guard. Inspector Ade spoke softly with one of them.
No family?
He asked. The officer shook his head.
Nothing. No address. No record.
Inspector Ade looked away. Mama Nkechi did not open her store that day. She sat behind it, staring into space. A woman passed and asked,
Mama, you know they sell?
Tomorrow, she replied quietly. But even she knew tomorrow would not erase yesterday. Blessing stayed inside her salon, no clients, no music. Her phone buzzed, a message in a group chat. They don't kill that madman. Another followed. Better so, God save us. Blessing dropped the phone, her hands covered her face. At the station, Inspector Ade typed his reports. He paused, deleted a sentence. Typed again, facts only, no emotions. But his jaw was tight. By afternoon, an officer approached him.
Oga, we find something else for that building.
Inspector Ade looked up.
Waiting. Money, plenty cash, sealed and untouched.
Inspector Ade leaned back slowly. The room went quiet. In the evening, he returned to the streets. People avoided his eyes. Some nodded, while some pretended not to see him. He stopped at the spot where it happened, looked down, then spoke not to anyone in particular.
If we had come earlier, would anything change?
No one answered. Blessing stood outside her salon with Mama Nkechi beside her.
I wanted to stop him.
Blessing said softly. Mama Nkechi nodded.
Sometimes stopping evil too late creates another one.
Sometimes little things matters. Ladies should be mindful of how they dispose their used sanitary pads, and everyone should stay prayerful, careful, and alert.
Hello fam, thank you for watching through to the end of this story. Please consider subscribing to our channel if you are yet to do that. Like and share this video, and also meet on our next story. Bye.